Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing okay in these bizarrest of times. I'm Owen Ralph. I'm a digital content producer, a digital marketer, a concert promoter, all of which I do with my project Greenwood Side, which works almost entirely within the folk music scene. I'm also occasionally a musician when I remember that that is a thing that I do. But what I want to talk to you about is building an online audience, which has become even more pressing now than ever, I think, given that online audiences are literally all we have. It's a massive topic, so I want to focus specifically on Facebook, which is not everyone's favourite platform at the moment, but it's a really key one for the folk scene, and in general, it's where the folk audience is, so we can't really afford to ignore it. So I want to start off with a few strategies and things you can do right now which do not cost anything, that anyone can just get on and do right now. And then after that I want to talk a little bit about what you might do if you've got sort of £30 to £50 a month that you might want to spend on building your audience, and how you might leverage any videos that you've made to do that. So let's start off with the free strategies that you can do right now. First thing is, whenever anyone likes or says wow or haha or this new weird care thing to something that you post via your professional Facebook page, this doesn't apply to personal pages, but via your professional page, you can then just click the little number next to those reactions and go through each person and hit invite, and that will invite them to like your page and follow what you do. It's something I struggled with a little bit for a while because it feels quite forward, it feels quite invasive, but you know, these people have already expressed an interest in your work, they've already reacted positively to what you're doing, so it's inviting them to like your page is then just a natural response to it. It's the next step of engagement for them, so I'd say just do it liberally, bring those people in, because they're people who want to hear more from you. Secondly, once you've got an audience building, keep the content coming. There's no point bringing people in if you're not going to keep giving them things. Really, you want to be posting some sort of content at least a couple of times a week, ideally more. Videos are, particularly at this point, always going down well. Whether it's, it might just be a song from your back catalogue that you record on your sofa, it might be something new you've been playing around with which isn't very polished. It doesn't matter, people are going to like it. The whole point at this stage is just to keep appearing in people's news feeds, keep reminding people that you exist, and keep reminding them that you are awesome. Thirdly, invite your followers to join your mailing list. If you don't have a mailing list, get a mailing list. MailChimp is a very popular platform which will allow you to email up to, I think it's about 1,000 people on their free plan. It's more than enough to get you going. So if you haven't got a mailing list, do that right now before you do any of this other stuff. But then when you've got your Facebook followers, just keep reminding them every now and again that you do have a mailing list. And because that's, in the same way that going from liking a post to following your page is a step along the road of engagement, a next logical step is joining your mailing list. It's a high level engagement. It shows that they're particularly interested in you and they don't just want to kind of seek you out. They want you to be landing in their inbox to tell them all about the exciting things you're doing. If you want to have a big impact on your audience numbers and want to grow them quite rapidly and quite efficiently, unfortunately, at this stage, the best way to do that is with some paid advertising, which feels like a bit of a dirty word, so I'm going to try and avoid saying advertising as much as possible. But it's giving Facebook some money so that they put you in front of the right people, which is advertising. What I find works really, really well, better than anything else, is videos. And it doesn't need to be super polished videos, just any video content. And ideally a mix of different video content works really nicely. I'm being arrested. It doesn't have to be something super polished, any video content will do, and a real mix of video content is a real strength when you're putting this together. I'm not going to go through all the technical side of how to set up Facebook ads. There are plenty of articles out there. Maybe I'll link to some in the downstairs area. So the first thing to do is to pick your audience. If you've got a couple of hundred people following your page on Facebook already, then your best option is to use a bit of functionality in Facebook called a lookalike audience. Basically what that does is they do a creepy thing where they look at everyone who follows your page, they decide what factors they have in common, and then they find more people across the country who share those qualities and are therefore quite likely to like your music. So if you've got more than about 200 people, then you've got enough to generate a good lookalike audience. And that's all you need to do in terms of picking people. If you've got quite a small audience, or if you've got an audience which you know in your heart of hearts is mostly family and friends, then you might want to go down the more traditional, he says about social media, which has only been around 15 years, the more traditional targeting route, which is to choose some interests, any of those interests which are big enough to have like a big audience of people. You can target them with your content. So once you've got your audience, the next thing to do is to choose some videos. As I say, the important thing is to have a real mix of things, because the idea of this process is to whittle it down to the things which work really well and to let the platform work that out for you. So you might want to, if you've got some fancy promo videos, bung those in. If you've got some live footage filmed at an actual gig, use that. If you've got something filmed on your sofa, put that in. You want a good kind of 5 or 6 videos to start with. And you can run all these as one coherent campaign. Facebook will decide which ones are working best and then push those out to people. The other thing to do is make sure you write some good copy to go with the videos. One of the keys to this is to make it really short. You just want 1 or 2 sentences at most, and you just want those to say what you do and how amazing it is. So you might want to use a short, snappy press quote. You might want to take kind of a key line from your artist bio. Just choose something which will really quickly explain to someone new why they should listen to you. Once you've got all that set up, the crucial thing is to measure your results. With this kind of campaign, the key number to look at amongst all the numbers which Facebook ads give you is the cost per result. Because what you want to see is a low cost per result for each video. Ideally, you don't want to be paying more than about 15 pence per page like. So the way to do this is to get all your video ads set up, start them running to your chosen audience, and then once they've been seen by around 1,000 people, seems to be a good starting point. If the cost per result is above 15 pence, just switch off that video and keep the ones going which are doing better. Facebook will, in general, spot the videos quite early on which are working well, and will push those to significantly more people. And so what you should end up with is the strongest 2, maybe 3 videos just running and bringing in new people. If you're keeping to that 15 pence per like limit, then that means you should be seeing about 200 people come in if you spend £30. That's the ideal. It may not always work out quite like that, but that's a good reference point. So there you go. Those are a few tips on using Facebook to build your audience. If you want some help with the technical side or just more detail about any of this, please do email me. Put my email address here across my face. And yeah, stay well, stay safe, all that stuff people say.